is Jasmine Tohidi, and this week I wanted to cover what happens if you lied on your visa application to the United States and said you were married to get the visa. So a common issue that comes up for some of my clients is when they apply for what's called a B2 visitor's visa, someone advises them to make up a husband or a wife to increase their chances of a visa being approved. The reason is someone tells them that, hey, if you say you have a spouse back in your country, they'll think when you come to America, you'll go back home. People do it and it escapes their mind and it later comes back to bite them. How does it come up again? Well, let's say you met the love of your life 10 years later and the two of you get married. You start the immigration process, they petition for you. On your petition, you say, I've only been married once in my life to my new sweetheart. All right, everything is going great until they review your application and they notice on your visa you said you were married to Mr. Smith, but now you're saying you were never married before. Oops, now you're going to get the petition denied. So a lot of people come to me at that stage when the petition has been denied. So what do you do if this comes up? First, if you know you've done this, go see an immigration attorney or figure out how to address it yourself. So what do we have to prove? First, I have to prove that your current marriage is legal, meaning you can't be married to two people at the same time. So if immigration believes that you had a first marriage that you never divorced and now you're in a second marriage, they can't approve your marriage petition because of bigamy. So what do you have to do? Well, you have to prove that you were single and that you aren't married to somebody at this time. So how do I prove that? For a lot of my cases, I go to the registrar of marriages in that country and I get them to write a letter saying Mrs. Smith has never been married previously. I submit that to immigration along with an explanation. You gotta fess up and say, yes, I lied and I was saying I was married to get the visa, but in fact now I'm not. What's the negative of that? Well, the first step of your case will be approved. That's called the I-130, which is the marriage petition. However, when you do the green card, you'll need what's called a fraud waiver under I-601. But you have to go through this process in order to be able to obtain your visa because you did in fact commit immigration fraud by lying on your visa application. So it's a three-step process of one, proving that you're actually legally married to your current spouse, and two, showing that you can get a green card, and three, submitting the fraud waiver. So make sure you do all three of those steps, and if you're one of the people that made that mistake and followed bad advice that you put on your visa application that you were married when you were in fact not, you need to address it. Otherwise, it's going to come back to bite you in the behind many years later. If you have any questions, you can call my office for a consultation at 202-656-6571. Thank you, and I hope you have a nice weekend.